Hello, welcome back to MSE. It is of course the third live stream in our results season live streams, and as you can see, Jade is back, so that's very exciting.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm very excited to be back. Yeah.
How have you been, Jade?
I've been very well. I have been off island. I've been in New York, so
very exciting.
You may be able to tell I'm tired, but I'm very excited to be back at MSE,
yes.
So I'm here today.
It was a good day to come back, so we've got a lot of exciting things coming up today. We've got a recruitment consultant coming on later, which is very exciting.
Yeah, we'll be speaking to Alex.
Yeah.
And I think we'll also just get a little glimpse of how some year 13s are feeling at the moment.
Definitely.
Yeah, we'll be seeing some stuff from GCSE students as well, so lots lined up. And of course, towards the end of the live, for those of you who do stick around, we have the well-loved games. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun night. We have loads lined up. So we're just going to chat to you guys, see how you are all doing.
Because it's only 2 days to A-level results now, so it's getting scary.
We are in the full swing of results season.
How are you feeling about your results? Because you're getting some on Thursday, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. So I'll be getting my results Thursday, see if I get into the university of my choice. I'd love to go to Surrey University. So I think I was very excited about the concept of uni about a week ago, maybe just over a week ago, because it was just a concept. It was kind of like a fabrication of my mind sort of thing, like it's in the future, it'll happen. And now that it's like 2 days time, I'm gonna have to face my reality. It's gotten a lot more real. So
are you nervous about sort of moving away from home and things like that then? Or?
Yeah, I am. I'm sure a lot of people out there who are going to uni and will be boarding at uni are feeling the same way, but I think it's natural. I don't know if I'm ready to leave home, but then when will I be ready? I think I just need to...
I feel like if you don't just do it, then you'll never feel... Like when I left, I didn't think I felt ready, and if you saw like fresher me, I don't think I probably looked ready to live on my own, but I mean, I'm still alive now, so...
Yeah, you've made it, I'll make it. I mean, I haven't ever cooked anything in my life. That's the one thing I'm most worried about. I love food, I can't make food, so...
I'm sure you'll like find ways around it. Like there's loads of sort of videos online and like recipes that have easy recipes. Pasta and rice, I found a good sort of things to rely on because they're not too difficult.
Add a sauce, like put it in the microwave. Put the sauce in the microwave.
It's all good.
I like a microwave; they're easy. So for those of you who are asking what I'm planning to do at uni, I'm hopefully doing a mixed course, which is basically just half and half of two different subjects, and I'm going to be doing sociology and criminology. I didn't actually find out about those subjects until almost the end of year 12, so if you are in year 11 and you still don't really know where you're headed with your A-levels in the future, what you want to do at uni, you have plenty of time to think about it.
I mean, I think it was only at the end of year 12 when I went on a trip to see universities that I decided actually maybe this is something I should consider, so like, I hadn't even considered what I would want to do at uni until then, so there's ages of time.
Yeah, so we have a lot of people saying that they're waiting on their GCSE results. So obviously that's next week, and of course we have a lot planned for MSE as well. But obviously A-levels are looming. Kira's watching. Hi, Kira.
Hello, Kira.
She says we're all watching, so I think they might be having a little viewing party wherever they are.
We love a little good viewing party.
Hello everyone there. So just talk to us. We want to find out about maybe if you're in year 13, how are you feeling for Thursday? Any maths students out there as well? Maybe how you're feeling about your maths results, because that was a little bit of a palaver.
I feel like there's definitely a lot more pressure on sort of A-level students this year, especially if they took maths.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, when I did it was all kind of plain sailing. Everything was fine. There wasn't really anything leaked or anything with it. So
just maths. But yeah, there's been all sorts happening with maths A-level, as you may have heard about. I think I mentioned it in a live quite a while back. There was just the first two papers were awfully difficult, and I mean, like really difficult. You couldn't contemplate what would come up in those exams. Nothing like any of the material would be given, so people were angry about that.
A-level maths is difficult enough as it is. I couldn't do the second year.
Right, so it's like, they were weird, didn't really make sense. Everyone came out of those feeling really confused. And then the third paper got leaked, and originally Pearson at Excel did not think it was a major leak. They thought maybe it had been sent to a group chat, 8 people had seen it. And now they're realising that obviously Twitter's a thing, and people were selling the pictures of the paper the night before, and I think I was told that at least 70 or 80 people have already been spoken to, and they're hoping that it will end up with some prosecutions. I don't know, because it's a criminal thing. They're not your property. Before the exam, you can't look at them. So we shall see what happens with that. Hopefully we'll get our results on Thursday and people will be satisfied.
Hopefully it all goes all right, because I feel like those people, when they looked at it, they were just thinking, I want the answers to help my exam because the others weren't so great. But I don't think they probably thought about how much it would impact, because if students do get their results later, then that will impact sort of their decisions maybe about their jobs that they're applying for, or university and all that sort of thing.
Exactly. And to a lot of other people as well, to a lot of adults or people who are working for EdExcel or people who are working at schools, our cohort who took that exam, we're really just another number. We're all, all our results are put into their tables and whatever, and it's on to the next year. And they're probably already thinking about how to improve things next year. But for us, it's like 2 years of our life, and we are quite young. 2 years of our life is quite a long time. So, I think it does mean a lot to the people who took that exam, and hopefully they will come to a solution that everyone's happy with.
Fingers crossed for it.
Yes, definitely. We have people speaking about further maths as well. Apparently, Emily says that it seemed like a foreign language. So, I can completely understand that. I didn't take further maths, but
no, I can only imagine how difficult it would have been.
Exactly. I mean, if maths is a universal language, if you think about it that way, it's going to be complex.
Definitely.
We have a lot of people asking questions about uni. Jay has asked, can you go to university if you end up not getting into sixth form and have to go to college? You can go, as long as you do a level 3 qualification, you can still get into university with that, whether that's like a BTEC or an A-level. That doesn't really matter. And I don't know if you have to do some sort of level 3 qualification alongside it, but there are also foundation courses at university, so that's a possibility to look into as well, because you may be able to sort of do that, which is 1 year, normally a 1 year course at a university, and then go on to doing the degree itself. So there's loads of different options if you don't go the sort of typical way. Exactly. And Jay or anyone else who has a question like that as well, as we said earlier, we will be speaking to Alex a little bit later on, sort of about 8:45, and you'll be able to ask questions as well, because she is a careers advisor, so that's kind of the perfect question really.
Definitely.
To ask her, so maybe think up some more and she'll be able to answer them later. Rachel's interested in what other options I took, so mine were a little bit different to yours. I did physics, maths and RS. It seems like such a long time ago.
Very
which
academic ones
did you do?
So I did theatre, media and psychology. So psychology, I'd say, was my most content heavy one, but the other two were both essay based subjects in terms of exams. So they were quite different revision methods around the sort of two different types of subjects, I guess. But they were fun at times. So
they do sound fun. I do wish that I'd taken a subject where I could get out of the classroom a bit. They do, because yours sound like subjects that you could
there was a lot of sort of practical aspects to them, which I found quite nice, because it almost broke up the sort of just sitting and learning about all the sort of difficult things, because I mean there is theory as well, but there was also a lot of sort of fun practical bits, which is always nice.
I was going to say, I think because obviously physics you do practicals, they're all in the lab though. The only times, I mean, I think we were throwing eggs at a blanket and swinging pencils around our head. I don't really know. Those were the only times we got out of the classroom in physics. So that's what broke up those. But other than that, I don't think I ever left the classroom in RS. I can't remember. Or maths, definitely not maths. So
it's a very classroom based one.
Very stuck in the classroom. But you get all of your independent study periods or frees. So you can kind of break up the day with those. Okay, so Rachel, you have asked, Jade, I was thinking of taking biology, chemistry, physics and history or French, but not maths. Will I struggle immensely? That's a really good question, and obviously taking the 3 sciences is not going to be an easy thing to do by any means. However, if you stick with it, if you definitely have the enthusiasm and you kind of the amount of time you put into your A-levels is what you get out of them, and it doesn't matter what subject it is. I know a lot of people do the 3 sciences. I've seen, obviously I'm one of those people who look up YouTube videos of A-level, like A-level students open their results live on TV, like stuff like that. And I was shocked at the amount of people who did do the 3 sciences and did amazingly well, and it was obviously because it's what they loved.
And I feel like if you're doing something you're enjoying, then you're going to find it a lot easier to spend time doing it. And also, because they are sort of sciencey subjects, I think people that I've heard have done them before, they will sometimes sort of lend on to each other a little bit, so there may be a bit of overlap, which helps one another, which is quite good. And
you did mention about history or French. Personally, from... obviously I didn't do those subjects, but from looking at how people dealt with those subjects at sixth form around me, I would say history takes up a lot more of your time than French.
I'd say so. There's a lot. I think the content was like very big. One of my friends was sort of revising all the time, and it seemed to be one of her main subjects she was doing, because there was just so much to go over.
A lot to read, a lot to write, and obviously French will be doing translations and things like that, but you get a lot more chance to do practical elements of it. You may do history coursework depending on the course that you take, but that coursework will take you a long time compared to French. So that is one to think about. It's good to ask other people who might be considering the same thing, or if you know anyone who has done French and history, or history,
it's worth talking to them, really. Or if you can see some of the sixth form teachers, or maybe your teachers from GCSEs, you can talk to them and see which one they think you may be better suited to, and you can figure out that.
And don't forget actually that if you do decide on taking history, for example, and you realise in the first week or the first couple of weeks that it's just too much, you can always, there'll be someone that you can speak to who can help you consider swapping subjects if it's not too late. But my one piece of advice with that is to do it earlier rather than later, because I wanted to swap physics after Christmas, like after the holidays, and it was just too late. So maybe make up your mind within the first few weeks if you really are struggling with all 3 sciences plus history or French, and see about changing. So we do have a couple more people asking kind of more career-based questions. So obviously, as we said, 8:45 we'll be speaking to Alex. Save those questions for then, because they may get a bit lost if you ask them now. So if you hold those, and then when we're on, maybe she'll even answer your question before you've asked it. So it's worth thinking about those. We have Emily again. She has said that she's already taken 2 GCSEs, kind of happy that she only needs 3 to get accepted to college rather than 5. Oh, is that like a thing now, or is that just maybe specific to the college?
She just did them early, so she may have done them in like November or like the previous year. Then it means she only needs 3 more. Which
you only need 3.
It's quite like relieving, I think, when that happens, because I did some of mine early, so it took the pressure off a lot for results day and things, which was really nice.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing actually. Results day, you want to get good results, but it's actually what those results lead to. That's kind of the pressure of it. A lot of people will be nervous about GCSE results to find out if they get into sixth form. It's not necessarily what you get, but it's what that leads to. Same with A-level students with university. So because I don't care what my grades are as long as I get to university. Mick saying that I look different. I had my hair done. Thanks for noticing. They're saying it's snazzy. That's really nice. You did them early in year 10. You did media in year 9. Emily did media in year 9. That's amazing. I think as kind of I don't know how old you are, like 14-year-old, 15-year-old, I think, in year 9, I wouldn't have known that. I would have known that GCSE was like a big GCSE, but I wouldn't have taken it as seriously, I think, because I did take one in year 10, but it was very kind of like,
it was quite calm.
It was casual, and we hadn't done any other GCSEs. We hadn't had the big kind of like year 11 talks where it's like, these are important, you really need to focus. So it takes pressure off, and I think that's really great that Emily's been able to do too, and I'm sure a lot of other people might have taken some as well. Lots of people do the maths early as well, because that is the one that
it's sort of like, I think it's one of the GCSEs that's got more pressure on it, because everyone does it and you need it for almost anything, but if you don't get it this time round, there are always options to do it. If you are going to college or sixth form, you can do it alongside your A-levels. Like, I know a couple of people that have done it and they managed to get it in the end, so there are always ways around
There's always options, and because you open that envelope or whatever you get your results in on the day, and sometimes you're so caught up in what you did or didn't get that you forget that actually if you didn't get what you need, it's not the end of the world, because as soon as you do get those results, think about what you can do, who you can talk to, because as you said, you might not need that maths, even though they've said you need that maths. There might be there'll be ways around it, so don't let it get you down completely in the minute that you get them. Just think, how can I change this? Is there a way to change this? And if not, then you deal with it in another way. I think we are the ones who put pressure on ourselves.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think anyone else will be overly offended if you haven't got the results that you needed, because you are going to be your worst critic. So I think that's what you need to remember. Let's have a look. I'll put this in the middle, then we can both have a little look. Mick said that you prefer doing them in year 11. Fair enough.
I mean, I managed to take some of mine early because of the school I was at. We did them a bit early, and I quite liked that because it meant I knew people that were doing like 14 different sort of subjects, and I thought that was crazy. I'd managed to do a similar amount but spread over the years, and I preferred that just because it meant I had more time to focus on the exams I was taking at that time, which was nice. But everyone's different, so
because it's a lot of pressure. Rachel, you've said that you need 8s and 9s to get into your sixth form, and it's making you extremely nervous. I think if you're worrying about it so much now, obviously these are GCSEs, so you have just over a week until you actually get the results. If you're worrying about those results now, then you're putting yourself through that situation when you're opening the envelope more than once. You don't need that stress until the actual day, so just try and think about that. You don't want to be putting yourself through that anxiety and through that nervousness now.
Save it for next Thursday. Try and I'd say try and go out and distract yourself from it a little bit, whether that's going out with friends or just going for a walk on your own, or trying to spend more time with your family rather than just sort of in your room. Because I find when I'm sat on my own is when I will start to overthink things like that. So just try and sort of get out as much as possible and avoid thinking about it too much.
Exactly. That's kind of what I've done this week, because I've just put everything on hold, as Kira said in yesterday's live, I think, when she was on Skype. She said that she'd literally just kind of put everything on hold until results day, because what's the point? I don't want to be thinking about university, what I need to be doing, what I need to be doing in the weeks leading up, because it's 2 days away now. So let's just forget about it. And then when I need to deal with it, I will cross that bridge when I come to it. And I have not come to that bridge yet. I'm very close. I am so close right now, but I still have a little bit of time. So let's just put everything on hold. There's so many. Hello to everyone who is saying hi, by the way. There's just so many people saying hi. So hello to you all. Let's scroll up, see if any of you have asked anything, or just tell me anything you want to tell me to do with your subjects or results. Maybe you're not getting results. If you're in year 10, and I guess a lot of year 10s do take the GCSEs early, as we have said.
But even if you're in year 12 and are sort of worried about what next year is going to be like, let us know, and there may be some things that we could help you answer your questions about sort of sixth form and things like that, or thinking about the sort of thing you want to go on to do after sixth form.
Oh, Danny, someone's got us on TV apparently.
Ooh, we're on big screen today.
Danielle Parr. She's an avid fan of MSE. I know you've won a few prizes. Apparently they're watching this on TV, so that's really exciting. Hi to you all. Okay, so we've got people just asking how much we're doing. Okay, that's fine. You do that in the comments. That is absolutely fine. A lot of people talking about revision memes. I think that's a big part of exams now, the whole meme culture.
And I found like coming out of exams and being able to sort of go online and see all of those sort of like memes and things that people are posting, it kind of takes your mind off the fact that you have just been doing an exam, which I think is quite good.
Yeah, exactly.
And you sort of forget about it and think of more of like a light-hearted sort of view of it, which is good.
It's a really good point, because like a few years ago, I guess you would have like you might have like messaged your friends.
Yeah, maybe had a few jokes just with you, but when it's with the whole, it's sort of like the internet, as it were. There's more people, so you know that it's definitely not just you guys that have gone through it or like found that question really difficult.
Exactly. You come out of your biology exam, you go straight to Twitter, you go to the hashtags, hashtag AQA Biology 2019, and then you'll get like you'll get so many things, and then people will be retweeting, oh my god, that's so relatable, like question one was awful. Like that's kind of what you need, isn't it?
I feel like maybe be sort of careful with it sometimes, because you can maybe come across people saying what they put as answers for questions, which can maybe worry you a bit more, but just scroll past those ones quickly and you'll get to the fun things. Yeah.
Sorry, everyone's just focusing on my looks tonight. So that's very lovely of everyone. Thank you very much. Merlin for sixth form. If you decide to drop one of your 4 subjects, when should you have dropped that subject by? Doesn't matter.
No, I think the main thing of thinking when you should drop it by is just sort of when you need the pressure taken off from that subject. So if you're considering it, maybe sort of try and decide fairly quickly as to whether you are going to keep going or not, because if not, you're just going to be spending time revising for that or like learning those topics when you could be focusing on the other 3 subjects that you want to do. So if you're considering it, maybe try and talk it out to a few people, see if you can sort of decide that a little bit quicker, just so that you're not working on something you don't want to be working on any longer.
Yeah, exactly. So like it won't affect you sort of in like in an academic way, especially because you're mentioning about 4 subjects to 3. If it was 3 to 2, you may want to rethink where you've applied to uni, or you know what other things you can do just to boost the 2A levels that you're going to get. But when you drop a 4th one, it really doesn't matter, as long as you don't need 4 for your university choice.
Because I think maybe a few universities may need 4, so yeah, I think that's the main thing.
So year 12 is probably the ideal year to do it, or the start of year 13 if you've decided I don't want to be doing these for revision. But you do start thinking about revision and wrapping things up very quickly in year 13, much quicker than you expect.
Definitely.
So yeah. For those of you asking about games, that will be happening a little bit later on, I think in just over an hour's time.
Yes. So
ride along with us through the live and you will see the games in about an hour. We've got riddles, just for those of you who want to know. I think it's just about time to have a little look at some other videos that we've got lined up for you guys. We have an A-level summary. We'll be having a look at that. We also have Tom. He will be speaking about how to build a professional network. What else have we got?
We've also got some year 13s who have sort of done a discussion about the highs and the lows of exams. So we mentioned them briefly then, but they've got a few more things that they were discussing as to what went well and what didn't go quite so well. And if you're doing GCSEs, we've also got a little bit of GCSE content in there just to sort of prep you up for next week, because it is only 9 days away now.
Yeah, so here it is.
3 year 2 topics and 1 year 1 topic, and year 1 stuff is easier, so that was a bit cheeky.
I did it. There were no tears this time, so that so that was good. The questions were a lot nicer than the micro ones.
And I think it went well. Only thing is there's only one 60 marker, so I'm super worried if there's going to be like 3 60 markers for the next one. And that's not fun because that's the content I hate the most.
It went well, I think. There were a couple of questions that were a bit tricky.
I think it was harder than the 2018 paper. I think they also asked sometimes some weird stuff, but I don't think it was too hard to get.
Drawing closer.
I am very scared.
What am I going to do?
It's fast approaching.
So hopefully that was helpful for all of you A-level and GCSE results students out there. Here's a little look into seeing what's coming up on results season.
Hi, welcome back to MSE. Today I'm joined by Tom, a recruitment consultant. And I've got some questions about building a professional network. How important to finding a job is building a professional network?
Yeah, I think it's thing to do. I mean, it goes back, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And especially nowadays, there's so many tools out there to build up your network and engage with people.
Would you say people have to go to networking events to build up their professional network?
No, not at all. I mean, you can do it from home in bed if you want on your phone. Just using tools like Facebook and LinkedIn, and there's hundreds of groups out there on things like Facebook that you can use to put yourself out there.
If someone is going to a networking event,
I think some copies of your CV, maybe not something as formal as a business card, but definitely a way to be able to hand out your phone number and contact details as easy as possible. And then, just a positive attitude, because in those sort of interactions, they're very short. They're, maybe 2-3 minutes at most.
what social media platforms would you recommend when trying to build a professional network?
I think first and foremost, LinkedIn may be the easiest, just because it makes it easy to search inside of a company, so you can find out every employee that's working with a specific company. If you're looking for part-time work during college, university, school, a weekend job, there are groups on Facebook for local areas where local employers will put on an advert or a post saying, "Oh, we're looking for people to come and work here," and that's just as important as building a long-term network.
When someone's at a networking event, how would you recommend starting a conversation?
The main thing I do when meeting somebody is always asking them a question. People like to talk about themselves, so it's a quick way of building rapport that it's following up from that question and making sure the conversation seems natural in a way that you're not just asking question.
To people who aren't very confident when talking to new people?
I think this goes back to just doing it as regularly as possible, meeting new people, even things I remember when I was younger, getting used to doing a handshake with people, because it's, there's no lesson in school that teaches you that, and it will make you much more natural because I know that not everybody's born with the gift of the gab.
What is the best way to make sure you keep a contact in your network after the initial conversation at maybe an event?
You'll probably be handed a lot of business cards and things like that. Keep them in a drawer somewhere, in a box somewhere where you can go back to them later on. Use things like your address book in your phone, on email accounts where you can set up a folder for particularly career-related. Just store all of those emails away, just so you've got them to go back to and refer to at a later date.
Have you got any final top tips for growing your network?
I think just get out there and meet new people. Be open to talking to new people.
Okay, thank you very much. This is extremely helpful, I'm sure, to our MSE viewers.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Tom.
We hope that was useful for all of you. Let's see what's coming up next for all of you GCSE students and A-level students.
My question was to colour in some astronaut.
And it just kind of spiraled out of control, and then you start crying, then you can't read the questions, and you realise you only have 10 minutes left. And
We're still on low point. No. What were the high points and low points of exams season?
I don't think there's a particularly high point for exams.
Guess there is.
No, even then, I was excited to go, but maybe I was a bit too excited and I didn't do as well as I should have.
Yeah.
My lowest point, like I said, would probably have had to been all of biology. All of the biology exams. As soon as I opened the paper, it was just because one side of it, the beginning question was oh, that's cute, and then you look onto the other one and there's just a graph, and then you're oh, and it just kind of spiraled out of control, and then you start crying, then you can't read the questions, and you realise you only have 10 minutes left, and then you just start.
Was major in psychology.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna start crying in a minute.
Yeah, it just didn't really it wasn't cute. But then when I got home, my parents were oh, how did it go? I was
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
I know that question. I like after an exam, just don't ask me how it's gone.
Yeah,
But I would appreciate when they'd say good luck, and some days they wouldn't say good luck, and I would just be there staring at them like, do you not want me to do well?
I remember like the last 2 exams were in a different room, so I was stressed, like trying to find it. But also one of my exams, I feel like I just had like a weird, like I forgot the time and then it was just like a mess. But like I realized that I'm just stressing out for no reason, and I got like the time back, and then I did my exam. The only problem with that exam was it was very hard, but the whole country thought it was hard. So it was like,
that was great. It was like I'm the only one.
But then,
you don't even know.
But then the next exam for that subject was like hard for me as well. But then it was only worth 30%. So I know if I did rubbish,
it wouldn't count that much.
And plus low grade boundaries for it as well. So it was just like maybe I got the grade.
What I definitely didn't like is when people would start talking about the answers after the exam.
Oh,
those were worse.
Can't relate. But to be fair, I didn't do my exams in the big hall, so after it wouldn't be like a bunch of us leaving. It would literally just be me and Mommy. I did my exams upstairs.
It was just messy, though, because everyone would be like, oh, da 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 da. I literally looked at the image and thought which one looked thicker. That's a muscle.
That's the one that I put. That's the one I put there. Like that was it. I feel like most of my low points were just like after the exam.
We're still on low points. There's no.
I want to know. Are we gonna mention high points?
I mean, I have one high point when, like, when you like, I went on Twitter after the exam and I realized that all of my answers had the same answer. I was like, oh my god, we all gonna fail together, yay!
Low grade boundaries.
I feel like that was the best thing about doing the exams, like going online and seeing how other people reacted to the same exam that you did. That for me, it was just like that for me was just like really, really comforting, because you know that you're not the only one in the school that's crying. There are other people outside as well.
I think when I did my media exam, and we were doing it right next to the chemistry people, and so I saw them suffering, and then
and you're like, oh, that's a high point.
A question next to my question was to color in some astronaut. And so I started to laugh because people next to me must have been like, they were so stressed, and I was like, yay, I have to just color in.
She was coloring in. Media exams, like if you read the little 2-page textbook that you get, you're okay, like you can pass. And it's not actually that bad. Like once you leave it, it's just if you've done the essay question, you're good.
Yeah.
Once you've done the essay question,
you're already passed.
Yeah, you're alright.
It's not relatable.
So like out of psychology and art, off my it wasn't that hard. It didn't make me sad thinking about going into the exam. It was just like, even if I failed the other two, I got media.
I was like, let me do science. I'm smart enough for that.
Yeah.
And then I did geography.
I remember the days I went to just like, what's it called? Physics.
After geography, GCSEs.
Geography, and you ended up being the only one.
And like 2 months, the last 2 months, I was the only student because the other person dropped out. So I was
the last one standing.
No, and then
other person.
Do you know how sad it was, right?
Exactly. Oh yeah, in the exam hall, she was all by herself in the corner. Everyone's looking, laughing. I was there like laughing.
I could see her laughing from the corner of her eyes. She was just looking at me like this.
I was like laughing with my eyes because I knew if I laughed out loud, I'd get into trouble.
No, and then, like I had a whole row to myself. I was right next to the wall, and there was a tissue box in front of me, and I was like, huh, you know.
Like the high points. So with my psychology exams, I feel like they went well because I mainly answered all the questions. I remember there was these 2 questions that came up that were basically similar, the same, like interactionist approach. Don't know what that is now. But like I felt like I did roughly good.
Thank you for listening to our exam woes, the high points, the low points, the suffering. Maybe you can relate if you went through it, and in the future you probably will be able to relate, but you know, it's all positive.
Just know normal people go through mistakes.
Hi, it's Jade. I'm still enjoying the summer, but MSE is busy getting ready for its biggest ever results season. There will be daily videos and live streams, and all the latest from A-levels, UCAS and clearing. Our GCSE reaction team will be back as they get their results, and we will be going into the early hours the night before results. So join MSE for results season 2019. We're with you all the way.
That went decent. It was great.
I'm so grateful for that exam.
English was actually pretty good.
You decided to give us a very solid question.
Brilliant exam.
And it went really, really well.
It went amazing.
So fingers crossed for that grade 8, maybe even a grade 9.
Basically, the extract was just really irrelevant.
I haven't done Islam since like one lesson in year 10.
My calculation.
Chaos. That story was messed up.
The fire alarm goes off and the bell stops and they don't let us out.
That was not it. It's like, sorry, but no. Like, no.
I don't really want to talk about it because it was just really bad.
A C question on Advent. Who knows any quotes about Advent?
Or the irrelevant characters.
It was okay.
I thought it went okay. I thought it went quite good, to be fair.
But I was thinking it's kind of semi-semi.
Some of the questions were a little bit weird.
I might have failed it, but I never have to do it again. Oh wait, if you do fail it, you have to do it again.
But I think
I like Justin Bieber. I don't know why I wrote about him so negatively.
It was a bit iffy, but I feel like I did well enough.
The invigilator kept staring at me, and every time I looked up at him, he wrote something down. Okay, Steve, what?
The one exam I thought I would do good in, I don't think I did.
Actually awful.
The worst test I've ever done, maybe.
It didn't go the best.
Shockingly bad.
Yeah.
the worst science exam.
So bad.
I'm dead too, by the way.
Oh no, I hated it.
Oh my god, it was as horrible as I was expecting. I failed tech.
I'm just glad the mess is finished, first of all.
For once, I didn't run out of time on it.
But f*** it, summer's here and we're done.
We finished geography!
Yes, get in there!
It's summer! And I couldn't be happier!
And no more English. So brilliant!
Yeah, it is already on fire because I was burning it. Flashcards can now be burnt.
My GCSEs are...
Time to celebrate!
And we are back. So we now have, as you can see, we have Alex on the line. Hello, Alex.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Very good, thank you. So we have a few questions that people have sent in through Instagram. We've also got lots of people asking things in the comments, so we're going to try and keep up with those as well. But let's kick things off with a question. Also, for those of you who don't know, Alex is a careers advisor. So you can ask her any questions about what you're doing towards university or finding a job after sixth form, all those sort of things. So yeah, let's kick it off with a question from Stel Megan 88. If you want to be a paramedic, where could you go for your work experience?
Well, any kind of job that involves working with people is really good. So that could be working in a shop, it could be working in a cafe, something as simple as that. But it also could be something that maybe involves caring for people, and that would be even better, obviously. And a really good thing to do is to sign up for St John's Ambulance and get some first aid training and get experience going along to things like events where you'll be on the scene and see what happens if people do need some first aid.
Yeah. Cool. So just basically get yourself out there, find out what you can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in your local area.
Someone in the comments was asking, what sort of work experience would you recommend for people that are trying to go into medicine?
Actually, pretty much the same as for being a paramedic. It's a caring career, and it's a career that involves working with people, and your qualifications will demonstrate your scientific ability and your academic ability, and your work experience is a way for you to show that you can deal with people, because as a kind of healthcare practitioner, you don't get to choose who you work with, and you need to be able to deal with whoever turns up on your doorstep.
Yeah. We have a very good question actually from Instagram from Louisa. I think this might be something that's on a lot of people's minds at this point in summer. What do I do if I'm not sure what I want to do?
Well, actually, using your words from earlier, it would be about getting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Just going and trying to expand your experience and trying new things. So that could be volunteering. It could be getting a part-time job. It could be something, trying something you've never tried before. It could be selling things on eBay. So just try and do something different and expand what you've tried and what you're good at, and you might find that leads you to a career eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
We've also had someone in the comments today who's asking, do you think there's a disadvantage in taking the GDL after your university degree instead of doing a law degree from the offset?
I wouldn't say there's a disadvantage, no, because it's what's right for you as an individual, and so you've got to work out, is it important for me to get a degree first and focus on that, and then I can decide, am I going to go down a particular route, because plenty of people do degrees in particular subjects but then don't end up pursuing that as a career. So that's quite a difficult one to answer. It really depends on your personal circumstances.
Yeah. We have Alex. Alex has asked, how do you go about funding a career that's extremely expensive to start? So this is specifically for if you want to become a pilot.
Okay, so yeah, that is a difficult one. There are loans that you can get, and then obviously if you're successful and become a pilot, then you are in a highly paid profession, and so you would then be able to pay that loan back. You can also get sponsorship from airline companies, and so that's a good thing to look out for. And there are opportunities to study through, there are a couple of university courses that include pilot training with them, though you will still have to pay for the training on top of your university fee. So it's not kind of like a shortcut way of getting support. One thing that can be helpful is there's a sort of a jobs show specifically aimed at people who want to be pilots or who are already in the air industry. And there's one in London that comes up every September. And then I know that they've recently started one in, I think, Manchester, which was in July this year. So it's called Pilot Live. So just look out for that and you'll be able to find out when it comes up. And that's a good source of information.
Yeah, I think that would be really helpful for Alex. Someone else was asking, this may help for some students if they're going through clearing in a couple of days, but how can you make your application stand out when you're applying for university or for a job?
So one thing I always say to people about your personal statement is the key word is personal, and that's the way to make it stand out. So don't use lots of big words, don't talk about things in the way that you think you're meant to talk about things. Talk about them as if you were just talking to someone, sitting at a table with you. Why do you want to do this course? Why do you want to do this job? Be personal about it. Say what you like to do and why you think that makes you suitable for that job or for that particular university course. And that really is the key.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We also have a question that came through Instagram from Holly Bennett, and she has asked, would you say that BTECs are just as important as an A-level?
Yes, because you train to learn a particular skill or set of skills, just as an A-level trains you in a particular subject. Your BTEC is training you in an area of work or in the skills that relate to an area of work. So most definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's really good to hear then. Someone's been asking, they're 17 at the moment and they're struggling to get a part-time job. Do you have any advice for them at all?
So, yeah, I mean, there's lots of things they could be doing. It's hard to know if what specifically to advise them if I don't know what they're starting with. But the first step is obviously a good CV. Second step is you have to work at it. Okay, so for example, if you're going to your local shops and delivering your CV to people, make sure that you dress up smartly and that you are polite and willing when you see people when you're dropping it off. But then don't just make that one effort, make a follow-up. So the next week, go back and say, have you had a chance to look at my CV? Are there any opportunities that have come up? So really, I think persistence, but being politely persistent is the key to getting over the line there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's have a look. We do have another question actually from Alex, but I think this is quite an interesting one. Would you say that going to uni is useful if you want to join the forces?
Yes, it can be, because you can get a lot of support from the armed forces with obviously the costs of going to university. They also give you all this training, so you'll attend training during some holidays, for example, or it may be something that you'll do throughout the course of the year. And that can stand you in really good stead for the future in terms of just getting your whole range of skills that will look really good on your CV, whether or not you decide to stay on with the forces or not.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that's a really good question, actually. We don't talk much on MSE about the kind of things that you need to do if thinking about joining the forces and stuff like that. I think that's really interesting that's been brought up.
Someone's actually asked, is it worth doing a degree you enjoy if you're not too sure exactly what job you'd be able to do with it afterwards?
You certainly are. In fact, I would say that is the most important thing that you should think about when you're choosing a degree, because it is a huge commitment. If you put aside, which obviously is very difficult to do, but if you do put aside the fact that you're taking out these big loans in order to undertake your degree, you're making a 3-year commitment, and it's not like when you're at school when you've got a couple of different subjects that you can cover. You're committing to one particular subject or particular area that you're going to study. And if you don't enjoy it, it's really, really difficult to maintain your motivation. And that's particularly the case if, for example, you're going away from home and you're making new friends and learning how to live in a new place and learning to be more independent and look after yourself. And all of those things are a big adventure, but also quite taxing. And so if you're not actually enjoying the whole reason for you being there, then that's a bit of a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I think it's really good to sort of keep in mind.
Yeah. So we do have one more question that came through on Instagram. I'm going to try and attempt to say the Instagram handle here. So this is from Aisa Diallo. That was my best attempt. But this is actually to do with parents. Should you go into doing what your parents want you to do or what you want to do?
So in the end, you have to think who is going to be doing this course or job, and it's going to be you.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last question was about motivation. And when we're thinking about what we want to do, if that motivation is what psychologists call extrinsic, so it's not coming from inside ourselves, then it's much more difficult to maintain that level of motivation than when it is coming from inside ourselves, or otherwise known as intrinsic motivation. Mm-hmm. So that is the key thing to think about. Now, obviously, it's really difficult to say to your parents, well, I want to do something else. So if that is the case, then be mature about it and marshal your arguments, okay? if this is a mature decision and not just, oh, I just don't want to do it because you said I should do it, then you should be able to come up with some really good reasons as to why that is the right choice for you. And that's what you've got to put forward.
Yeah. Rachel's been asking in the comments, do you have to take out a student loan to go to university?
No, you don't have to, but obviously you would need some way of paying for your university fees and also for your living costs. And for most people, that's going to be beyond their means. The biggest alternative option in those cases is to get someone to sponsor you. And most ways of doing that would be through, like, a company would sponsor you, so maybe through a degree apprenticeship, for example.
Yeah. Someone else, Isra, was asking sort of a follow-up question from that. Would you be able to explain sort of how student finance works?
Okay, not in great detail. It's not my area of expertise, and I would generally suggest that you should contact someone from a university to talk to you about that. In fact, universities have student finance officers who are excellent experts on this topic, and you would be much better off going to them and getting explanations from them. I wouldn't really want to go into that in any detail at all, because I really don't know a lot about it.
Yeah, that's cool. Hopefully they'll be able to sort of go and contact a university and find out a bit
The
more.
universities are always really, really happy to talk to you about this kind of thing, or any questions that you might have.
Yeah, I think, Isra, if you just take a quick look at the comments, MSE have provided there a little link that you can look at from the government, who has a little bit of information on that. So perhaps if we get just a couple more questions in, if you guys do have any left, let's have a look. Just try to scroll up.
I think actually Isra was asking before, is there a lot of placements if you're going to do a primary education degree?
Yes, definitely. So, it's actually a key part of your degree that you will get placements in school, so that you can actually start your practice and learn how to teach. So, absolutely.
Yeah. Have you got any advice actually for students who, if they're considering doing a placement, as to decide whether that is a good thing to do or not, or where to sort of go and seek placements from?
So do you mean like when they've already started their degree, or beforehand?
Or is it something that they should consider when they're looking at the different universities? Is that sort of a key part of a degree then?
Yeah, I mean, usually the placements will be local to the university, but for example, if you live away and you can find your own placement closer to home, then the universities are usually fine with that, because obviously they want you to be happy with your placement, and so long as they can monitor it properly and that they make sure that it's an appropriate one, then that should be fine.
Yeah, that's really helpful.
This is an interesting one that's just come in. Obviously, we don't want to keep you too long. But how important are GCSEs now for employment in university after the reformed A-levels?
They're still important. I would say... sorry about that. Okay. I would say that usually if you're a graduate, then an employer is going to look at your degree, and then many of them will look at your A-levels, because they want to sort of see a little bit of background to where you're coming from. They probably won't look at your GCSEs at that point, because if you think about when you're applying for graduate jobs, you're 21. It's a long time since your GCSEs, and you've done all these things, not just in terms of your academic career, but most people going through universities will have picked up various extracurricular activities, and they'll have done part-time jobs and work experience and different things like that. So that will be what the employer will really be looking at. Obviously, if you're younger, then yes, definitely. If you're looking at applying to university, then when you apply, the GCSEs are the only actual results that they will have to look at. So they are still pretty important.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We've had a surge of questions.
Goodness.
I think it's because obviously we said get your last minute ones in. How about we pick? Let's pick one more.
Okay. It's difficult to choose which question to ask you.
We've got so many at once.
Yeah.
I reckon. Because I think we have some people asking questions and then someone else answering them for them.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, that's great to have a community input.
Exactly, very helpful. We did have Talani ask quite a while back. I think I saw a very similar comment and we may have skipped over it. Just wondering about the types of work experience you can look at for going into something such as engineering or product design or architecture.
Okay, so what's really interesting about especially something like engineering is a lot of people think, oh, I have to find something quite technical. And obviously, if you can find something that's in that field, then that's great. But what they often don't realise is with these kind of jobs, they often depend on teamwork. So if you can get work experience that involves working with other people, so we're not necessarily, when we were talking earlier about being a paramedic or getting work experience for being a paramedic, that was about dealing with the public. Yeah. This is more about working with colleagues, okay? And so if you can look for work experience that involves that kind of teamwork, that's really, really helpful because that's the kind of thing that you will be doing at university and in jobs in those areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
Are you good to go for another few minutes or so? Because
sure.
I don't want to leave these guys
fine.
hanging, especially as we have some professional advice from you that we can't give to the guys after you're gone. So it's probably worth answering these questions.
No worries.
Alana was asking before, how do you go about finding an apprenticeship?
The government has a website that you can sign up for and that you can set up alerts and tell them where you're looking and what kind of jobs that you're interested in or types of employers. So that would be the first step. But I wouldn't limit to that. So employers are meant to put their apprenticeships up there, but I don't think they always do that. So although it's a place to start, it's not the only place that you should be looking. Apprenticeships are just like any other job in a lot of ways. So you can look on a company's website, look at their careers section, and if they offer apprenticeships, then they'll usually have an apprenticeship section. Okay. There are also it's a good idea to sort of think about the industry that you're going into and see if they have apprenticeships in that area. So some are more inclined to offer them than others. So for example, there are lots in business and finance, there are lots in engineering, there are increasing numbers in science, and there are also increasing numbers in law as well. That's also a real growth area for apprenticeships. So find local law firms, local businesses, and see if they're offering them. Okay. Now they may not always put them on their website, so if you like the look of a company, ring them up or email them and ask them will they be offering them. So and it's a good idea to talk to your own institution's careers advisor. So if you're at a school or a college or a sixth form or a university, all of those places should have a careers advisor that you can approach and get support with the specific areas that you're looking into, and they'll obviously know the local area as well, so they'll be able to give you advice on where to look.
Yeah, I guess really if you do ask around, the worst they can do is say no.
Yeah,
so
and networking is a really huge way of people getting jobs. Everybody thinks, I have to look on the internet and find it that way, but actually a big way of finding jobs is through contacts, and part of that may not necessarily be someone you know, but might be someone that you know that they know, or it may just be you making your own contacts by contacting companies.
Yeah. Someone was asking, it may help for people that are looking to go to apprenticeships. What are the key things that you'd say a potential employer is looking for on a CV?
They really like to see someone who has thought about what the job involves and what their company does, and has decided that this is the right place for them and that they can match their offer, if you like. Okay. And so the number of times that I've spoken to employers and they've said, oh, I've interviewed someone, or they sent their CV in, but they didn't know anything about us. Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's really important to do your research and sort of think, look at the job spec and think about, well, do I fit this? And you don't have to fit all of the specification, not by any means, because a company will put in a job spec that their ideal person, okay, but it doesn't mean they're going to get it. So if you think, yeah, I can do most of this and I can learn the rest, go for it, okay? And likewise with the company itself, you need to get onto their website and look at what do they do. You should also try and find out, if you can, about the industry within which they work, who their competitors are, and that kind of thing. And it's these kinds of things that make you stand out as a future employee.
Yeah, so just quickly to Mick, who's asking if we can ask the question about what to do if you're not sure. Alex did answer that earlier, so either if you want to scroll back, it was pretty much at the start, but it was just to get as much experience under your belt and try lots of new things out. I think that was the quick answer to that one. And gosh, yeah, we've got lots of people ready for games. I think we may have answered pretty much
almost all of the questions,
everything now. So I'm just going to say thank you everyone for getting your questions in, and we do hope that Alex has been of help to all of you. It was really great to see some quite different questions actually that we haven't been asked before, and we hope you appreciated having some professional advice on it. So thank you very much, Alex, for joining us. And
you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Okay, so that was Alex, and I found that very helpful just for myself as well. Lots of good.
Yeah, there was a lot of good advice in there.
Lots of good advice. So a lot of people now are asking in the comments about what's happening with games and all that. So that will be happening at around sort of 9:45, quarter to 10.
Towards the end sort of thing.
Big finish with the games because we know you guys love them. Just a quick reminder of what is coming up. Very, very shortly we will be speaking to Year 13 student Nadia. And then we will also have some other videos lined up for you, which we will probably explain a little bit later on. Other than that, get back into the comments and tell us perhaps what you've been doing with your summer. Have you been distracting yourself away from results season? Or if you're not doing results, just what have you been doing with your summer? And plans for after results as well, looking into the future maybe.
And if you want to sort of think of any questions for Nadia when we have her on, I think she's looking at doing an art degree when she goes to university.
It was animation.
With animation. So if you have any questions about that, put them in the comments below and we'll be sure to ask Nadia when we speak to her. Mick says that all he's done all summer is worry about results and he doesn't know why. Well, I mean, it's probably because the results are going to sort of lead on to quite a big part of your life. Whether they were GCSE or A-level results, I'm not too sure. But they are either going to lead on to you going to sixth form or college or into a job or like a university degree. So it's fair enough that you have been worrying about them. But maybe sort of over these next couple of days before the results finally come in, just try and maybe meet up with some friends, do something to distract yourself. And obviously MSE's live streams are going to be here for you. We're here all the way till 2 a.m. tomorrow, so that's one big way to kind of get your mind off of the results a little bit there.
Let's speak about tomorrow very quickly. Just so you guys know exactly what is coming up tomorrow, we have an epic ultimate set of 6 different games that we're going to be doing tomorrow.
Very exciting.
As we know that is of course one of the highlights for you guys during our lives. We've got, that will be featuring a logo game, sports themed game.
We've got a little bit on landmarks,
Yeah.
which you were quite good at the cities yesterday, so will you be quite so good at landmarks? Find out tomorrow night.
Yeah, we'll find out. Dingbats as
Yeah.
well. We will explain what that is if you're not sure what it is. We'll explain that tomorrow. Yeah, but it's going to be very
It's gonna be
exciting. And obviously more games means more prizes to win, more chances to get your name, put down for the big spin of the wheel. So
definitely not going to want to miss out on that one.
Make sure you do tune in. Yeah, so
people seem to be quite excited about the games. Harvey's saying that he loves the games.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying that, so that's good.
And if you're missing out and you sort of feel like you haven't quite sort of peaked at your game level on MSE just yet, tomorrow may be your night. It may be
many
sort of-
chances, yeah.
The logo quiz may be sort of just your thing.
Merlin said getting a job is a really good way of avoiding thinking about results. It is. It's also a great way to earn money, obviously. And yeah, just make sure that you don't work too hard over summer, because it is your chance to relax. And don't forget that when we are much older, we're not going to get a summer holiday.
No, so you might as well take advantage of it while you can now. Go out and sort of go to the park or the beach if you know the beach. Just sort of enjoy yourself.
So relax, enjoy being the age that you are. And yeah, obviously getting a job is a very good thing to do as well, especially if it's a little part-time job and something that you enjoy. Yeah, maybe let us know what your plans for results night are. Obviously, you're going to be watching MSE.
Of course.
But are you guys going to be getting together and kind of...
Sort of having a watch party, maybe?
Yeah, or like, are you going to be staying up the whole night? Like, do you think you're going to get any sleep? Because I don't know if I'll get any sleep.
No.
I'm sure I'll get so tired that I will fall asleep, but I will be up so early the next morning whether I want to be or not.
Yeah.
I just know naturally I'm going to be up.
You're just going to wake up because of sort of the nerves, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. If I don't set my alarm, would I sleep through it? Like, would I sleep through results anyway? And I'm kind of interested to see if I would.
Maybe just don't set one and see if anyone comes and wakes you up.
How weird would that be? Like waking up at like 9 o'clock and being like, oh my god,
I didn't go and get my results.
I didn't get my results. Oh well, I don't need to think
wait
about
like
them.
another few days till they post them.
yeah, I don't know.
Harvey says that he's going to his friend's house and they're going to all hang out there, which is why he's not really doing too much on sort of around results day.
That's fair enough.
Mick says he's going to be sat in his room crying. Hopefully that's going to be tears of joy.
Yeah, hopefully.
But yeah,
I
fingers
hope
crossed
so.
for you there, Mick. We've got some people saying that they don't really want to predict how their results are going to go. They're just sort of hoping to pass, which is quite a good way of thinking of it, really.
Yeah, I think the whole thing with predictions and basing your results on predictions is just, it's not the way forward.
No.
I think schools should really have another look at the way it's done, especially when going to uni. You know, you're getting given offers to places purely based on the future that hasn't happened yet. Who knows how that could go? And for people, if it changes, it can be a very stressful time. So perhaps that will change in the next few years. Who knows?
Yeah. Mick said that he had a dream he got 1-9 and he failed everything else, but he was alright because it was maths he got a 9 in. So
that's very
at least you were happy
interesting.
about getting your 9 in maths, which is good.
I know a lot of people have stress dreams of results day. I know a friend once said, this was before GCSEs, they had a dream of getting their results on a paper plate. Like, how weird is that? But like, I think the results are on a paper plate, and like, you know, you have stress dreams of them being bad, or like dreams of them being great, and then you wake up and you're like, God, it's not results day.
No. I'm pretty sure I had a dream around results day that was really realistic, thinking I got really good grades, and then woke up and was like, oh, that wasn't real. I do have to go and get the actual ones soon.
But it's just like, I guess it's something, if you stress about it so much, you're bound to just be subconsciously thinking about it all the time. Yeah. So it is 9:15. I think we should have a little look at seeing if Nadia is available.
Let's have a look. Hopefully she is around.
So as I said before, and for those of you who might not know who Nadia is, she is a year 13 student in London, and we love having her on the lives. So hopefully she will be available just this minute.
Will Nadia come
calling
through?
over Skype, so get your questions in for Nadia about maybe, because we can ask again about the A-levels that she did, and then about what she's planning for uni. So,
hello, Nadia.
Hi.
How are you doing?
As good as I could get, I guess.
Yeah. Getting a little bit of nerves.
A lot of them.
A lot of nerves.
Thought about it until just a minute ago. I was like, oh no, it's the day after tomorrow results.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So what A-levels was it that you took, Nadia?
Art, media, and psychology.
Have you been sort of rethinking those exams since you took them, or have you sort of pushed them out your mind?
I think about it for like a split second, then I'm like, oh no, get out of there, don't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
Then I don't really think about it.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions about those A-levels, get them in the comments and I'm sure Nadia can answer them. So let's chat about what you're hoping to do at university then.
I'm really hoping to get into uni and do animation. Because I cannot think of something else that I could possibly do with my life. So
yeah,
betting it all on one thing.
It sounds amazing though. We've got Emily here saying it sounds cool, and we have Amar asking whether you'd work for Disney. Would you work for Disney?
I used to think that I would, but I wouldn't. Only because when you work for Disney, the work that you produce is theirs, no matter if it's like private work or whatever.
Yeah.
All your drawings is they have the rights to it.
Yeah.
So I don't want them to have the rights to my artwork.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a fair point.
Yeah. Okay, so Alex has said then, kind of leading on from that, he said, I know someone that studied art/animation at university. He's now in a well-paid job, but not what he thought it would be. So what career are you hoping to go into?
I have not thought exactly about, because it's like you could do backgrounds, you could do character designs, you could do storyboarding. There's so much things, and I don't know. I don't really know yet, and I'm thinking when I do the course, I'll figure it out. But for now, I don't know.
You don't need to know. As like Alex said before when we were speaking to Alex, the careers advisor, you don't need to know. If it's a degree and you're going to enjoy it and you want to do it, then do it. Like, I have no clue what I want to go into, and it seems when I tell people what I'm doing, they seem to think, oh, so you're doing that because you want to go into, and it's not. It's just because I want to take.
You want to do that degree.
I just want to take not GCSE. What am I talking? I want to take that degree, and then like see where it leads. Right? It's kind of like go with the flow, see where it leads. What's it gonna like? What opportunities are gonna come up? You just don't know.
Exactly.
Like you could have some opportunity come up that's nothing to do with the degree, and just like roll with that. I mean, who knows what can happen in 3-4 years? So
definitely.
Yeah.
You're making me just think about it. So I keep floating in and out because I'm like, what actually is going to become of my life?
Yeah, I know. It's weird to think about it, and it's going to come around quick. Like,
yeah, definitely. It goes,
I don't know,
too quickly. But what sort of things will you be doing if you go to the university that you've got as your first choice? Have you sort of had a look at the modules that you'd be doing then?
I did. Not recently. So I can't even remember. All I remember is the final project, what you have to do in your third year. I just know that in your second year you can have it. You can do placements in other countries. Then in the third year you have a group project, or you could do it on your own. But you get into groups and you create an animation. And that's basically all I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds quite good then. Harvey was asking, he was saying that like art sounds quite difficult as an A-level. Did you find it was really different from GCSE then?
That literally was the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. Like I thought I could get away with it if I didn't need to use my academic brain that much. But oh my days, like it literally sucked the life out of me. GCSE was nowhere near as bad as A-level art. Nowhere close.
Yeah.
Not even.
I did hear a lot of people. It's like, it's kind of the sort of subject where you think, okay, so I've got all this stuff that I want to do. I've got plenty of time to do it. I can do it at home. It's fine. And then you get to the deadlines and you're like,
you haven't done
oh
it.
my God. I thought I had done way more than this. Where is everything? And then you're like rushing to do stuff and then people would get upset at themselves because they've had to do it so quickly and it's not what they wanted it to be and blah, blah, blah. But it's still, don't let us or Nadia put you off doing our A-level. Do it. If you want to do it, do it.
But you have to love it. If you don't like it, don't even bother.
Oh yeah. Don't take art if you think it's a cop-out subject. It is not a cop-out subject.
I don't feel like there are any cop-out subjects.
No.
Like, especially when you get to sort of like A-level kind
It
of
doesn't
time.
exist.
They're all difficult in their own sort of like realms. Pele was asking, what university are you going to, Nadia?
Okay, if I get into it, it's supposed to be the Art University Bournemouth. Maybe. But that's what it is for now.
Yeah.
Have you got any others that you'd be willing, sort of, that you'd want to go to potentially if you don't get in there, or are you just all set on Arts Bournemouth?
University of Hertfordshire and Leeds Art University was another one. The only reason I didn't pick Leeds was because it was the same amount of UCAS points as Bournemouth. So that wouldn't have worked out.
Yeah. I know several people who looked at both of those, Bournemouth and Leeds. They sound like great choices. It's like just they're so well known for all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I looked at going to Bournemouth myself, but it just was the course that they had for me just wasn't for me. But it's near the beach, and I love the beach. So
actually, my cousin did animation at Bournemouth. I don't think it was Bournemouth Arts for some reason, but I know you kind of like end up sharing facilities sometimes because like why wouldn't you, because it's so close. She had like the time of her life, and now she's in Guadeloupe kind of like helping out with people, Death in Paradise, that kind of thing.
That sounds really cool.
Oh my gosh, I love that show.
So like I think it's not directly to do with animation, but because she's done that degree, they've said show us what you can do, and like they've just kind of given her the reins on it a little bit, and it honestly sounds amazing. She's there for like 5 weeks, so
oh my gosh,
as we said before, like just see where it takes you. She had no idea she'd be there like a few weeks ago, and now she's there, so
that sounds amazing. Alex is asking, how did you choose, or how and why did you choose to go to, or to choose Arts Bournemouth as one of your choices?
When I made my decision, honestly, because you have 5 choices. One of them wasn't an option for me because I chose foundation year, and I only chose that just in case I didn't get into my other unis. So it was out of 4. And then I eliminated one that was in London. Then it was up between Leeds, Bournemouth, and University of Hertfordshire. University of Hertfordshire couldn't be my firm because it was like 78 UCAS points. And then Bournemouth and Leeds were 120, so that doesn't make sense. So then it was between Leeds and Bournemouth. So all I did was it do because I could not choose for the life of me. And Bournemouth got it. So not a riveting tale.
Just sort of by chance that was the one you've chosen then.
Yeah.
But
then I went there, I went to Bournemouth and I stayed there for 2 days with my mum. And it's a nice area. The university is really nice. And I was just like, you know what? That was a good choice.
Yeah.
It worked out in the end.
That's really good then.
And I think you get to share accommodation with University Bournemouth as well. Which is really cool. There's like a little, if I remember correctly, there's like a little student village and stuff. But it seems like such a nice environment. So come on, people.
Anyone got any more questions?
I actually got the worst accommodation for my university.
Oh no.
I was so sad because they said 5 choices. I put all of my top 3 in the new building, then the second to newest building, I put my 4th choice, and my last choice was this other building that I didn't really know. They gave me my last choice, and then I was like, oh, that's not that bad. Looked at the reviews, and everyone's saying it's rubbish, and I don't know what to do.
I'm sure it'll be okay. I was in student accommodation last year, and I found that all of them are sort of on a par. Like, they do obviously have sort of their own bits that make them better or slightly worse than the other ones. But ultimately, like, you're only going to live there for a year, so it's not too difficult to sort of make it through that. And if you don't like where you're living too much, just go and hang out at your friends' flats or something like that, so you can avoid it.
I guess like everyone in your building will be.
Have any friends?
What?
You'll make friends. You'll definitely make friends.
Unless you like purposely try not to, you're gonna find someone at least.
And like everyone is in the same situation when they move to university. Like they're all just trying to make friends and things. So it's. I think it seems harder than it actually is to make friends when you get there.
We have a question about the animation specifically. So Mick is saying basically, is animation as hard as it's portrayed to be? He says, Is animation like the Pixar fantasy that I imagine it to be, or is it something different? Is it kind of like this big like fantasy, like you get to work for Pixar and make cute little like films?
But you forget about the actual work that you have to do
Yeah.
for it. And it's really, depending on what type of animation you go to, it's still really monotonous. Like, it's the same thing over and over again, like doing the same drawings. It depends what type of animation you're doing. So if you're doing traditional animation, you're drawing the same pictures thousands of times just to do 2 seconds of animation. So if you like that, then I guess it's the dream. But if you don't, then
yeah, I think it's a fair point.
I'm all about when you finish it. That's when it's going to be worthwhile, because you're seeing it move. Like, this little 2D character that couldn't move is now moving. You understand? So it depends.
Yeah, it's either like you're the kind of person that would enjoy doing that, or you're just not. So
yeah.
Merlin was asking, for year 12, did you study during your like free periods, or did you just kind of take them as, this is some free time for me to have?
Don't ask me that. I'm not a good influence. It's like, actually, I'm not even gonna lie. I did all my homework during my free period so that I didn't have to do it at home.
Yeah.
But I did like talk way too much, and I did watch loads of movies during study time that we got film websites banned. So I'm not a good influence. But all I can say is during your study periods is do your homework, but not lose, like, don't study like dramatically all the time. Like, enjoy your sixth form life, because it actually goes by really quickly.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. I have to say, I spent my frees in the same way.
Yeah.
I watched so much Jeremy Kyle as well, and I don't even enjoy Jeremy Kyle.
Me too.
Like, I don't even know why. It's not even my go-to show.
Like it's just a sixth form environment.
Yeah, it's like I had so much stress from A-levels. I just wanted to see someone else be stressed about something like worse.
Yeah. It makes you feel better when you're not in the situation like they are.
It sounds horrible, but it's just like, okay, my situation's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So another one. We don't want to. Okay, we'll keep going for a little bit, but obviously, we'll let you get off.
Yeah.
So I can't remember who asked it, but we did have a question about, did you take your A-levels with the animation degree in mind, or was it just kind of like, was it not?
I took my A-level and my art A-level with animation in mind.
Yeah.
But I'd always known what I wanted to do. So I was really late at starting, but I only started doing animation in year 13. But luckily for me, the learning curve wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it was still hard. And I would say if you had an art degree in mind, start like investigating, exploring it like from year 12 if you haven't done so beforehand, because you could put that all in your artwork and your coursework, and then over time it will get better to when you do your final exam, you could do something based on that subject that you wanted to go into. So if that's illustration, if that's animation, you could do your final piece on that, and all your coursework, when you're going to university interviews, they can see that you've already tried to do a little bit of exploring into that topic or that subject. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, that's
and I really like that. So
yeah, because it's quite rare actually that people know, like, have an idea and kind of stick with it.
I don't know if I know, I think maybe like 1 or 2 people I know that sort of had an idea of what they wanted to do after A-levels and sort of stuck with that. Everyone else I knew either didn't have a clue or completely changed their mind.
Yeah, I remember thinking like, I'm going to take physics, RS and maths, but I want to be an actor.
Yeah.
So I was like looking at acting degrees, and then I kind of like had to halt myself and be like, like,
this isn't for you.
Stop right now. You clearly don't, because you didn't take drama, so
I think I started off wanting to do psychology, and now I do media, so it's quite different, but
plans change.
I started off doing French. I tell this story all the time, but now I do media.
Yeah.
Okay. We did mention this at the very, very beginning, but Nadia, how nervous are you for results day?
I may not look like I'm that nervous because I'm always smiling, but I use smiles to hide pain because I am actually like crying inside.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness, you're taking me back to all these flashbacks in A level and all my mistakes in the test papers.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I'm so sorry. Well, it is 9:30, so we will let you go. Thank you so much. Sorry to trigger you like that. We good luck for Thursday. We want to know how you do, and I'm sure you will do excellently.
Yeah, hopefully it all goes well.
Thank you very much for speaking to us, and we will see you soon.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Good luck to you. Bye.
Nice. So. Yeah, I feel like Nadia's got all the same emotions as a lot of us at the moment.
I feel like it's a difficult time because you don't want to focus on it too much, but it is always going to sort of be there in the back of your mind.
Definitely. And so just before we do the games, at 9:45, guys, it is coming up. Don't you worry.
Exciting.
Stick around. Make sure you watch this next bit because when that's done, we're going to be going straight into it.
Yes.
So just stick with us.
Almost at the games.
So let's just have a quick chat about what's coming up. We have another A-level summary. You're going to get a look at that, A-levels, what's been happening with that. We have Michelle from What Uni on what UCAS track is, explaining a little bit about that. It will probably be quite useful for Year 12 students at the moment.
And also I think a little bit for Year 13 students on if you need to use UCAS track over the next few days. We're also going to be talking, or not talking to, but we've got a little bit of a discussion from some Year 13 students about their personal statements. So you may find that a bit relatable or helpful if you're in Year 12 or Year 11 even maybe, and are starting writing that up. And we've also got a little bit from our GCSE React team.
Yeah, here it is.
But obviously it's a big deal.
Because I've got an unconditional offer, I haven't felt too stressed about results.
But I'm not going to uni next year, so it's not too high stakes.
I've started thinking about it more. I don't know, my mum started thinking about it more as well.
Like, I'm not even playing. I'm not playing. Like, when I tell you, I do not think I've done the best that I could have. I'm so, why am I like this all my days?
I'm very scared. The grades I get are obviously going to define what becomes of my life.
In another sense, I shouldn't be nervous because I actually have an unconditional offer from my university of choice. But I want to do well, and if I get 3 years, I get a scholarship.
I do feel slightly nervous because I do want to do well just for like my own satisfaction.
If you ask someone about animation, they'll say, oh, I didn't even know that was a course. And there's usually loads of spaces available. So maybe clearing would work out for me, but I don't want to go through that.
We hope you guys enjoyed that. We have loads more content to do with GCSE and A-level results. Let's see what's coming up next.
Welcome back to MSE. Today we're going to be talking about UCAS track, what it is and exactly what you need to be doing around results day. What exactly is UCAS track?
Okay, well, as the name would suggest, it's kind of a part of the UCAS process where you can track the status of your applications once you've made an application to university.
How should students be using UCAS track on results day itself?
Well, they can use track on results day. So if they have a confirmed choice or an insurance choice, they can see whether those have now become confirmed offers.
Does track update sort of immediately or does it wait until after you've received your results? So could you potentially see which universities you've got into before you collect your results?
I suppose it depends on how early you get up in the morning. So A-level results and Scottish Higher results are normally released around 6 a.m, but normally you can go and pick them up from about 8 a.m. I think most schools open.
If a student's friend's track has updated and it says what university they're going to, but theirs hasn't, is that something they should be worried about, or is it just it'll be updated?
No, not at all. Like, do not panic if your track hasn't updated. There are thousands of people applying to university, and universities don't have big admissions teams, so it does take them a while to process once they get your results.
Will students need to be using UCAS track after results day leading up to going to university itself?
Kind of depends on the situation. So if a student would like to go, well, if they have to go through clearing, or if they want to decline their offers and go through adjustment and find a new course, then they will have to add clearing choices, but they should only do that once they've been given an offer over the phone from a university.
That's cool. Well, thank you very much, Michelle. I think that has probably been very helpful for all of our MSE viewers. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
So we hope you enjoyed that, and we've got even more great content coming up in this live stream for all you A-level and GCSE results students. You can take a look here.
So it wasn't no stress for me.
Because psychology is such a diverse subject, I really wanted to show some of my knowledge within my personal statement. It was the best.
We are now going to be talking about personal statement stage. I was honestly terrified of writing my personal statement. Like, personal statement actually made me break down because I was like, I can't write, I can't English, how am I going to do this?
Claudia was the funniest one. She was like way behind everyone else.
You know, I literally, like, the UCAS deadline was in the next week. That's when I sent my
application,
my personal statement and stuff. Yeah. When I tell you, writing it, for some reason, I just couldn't write. I just couldn't write it. But then after I wrote it, I was like, what was all of this about? It was so, like, non-stress worthy.
I felt like I was excited to actually write about my personal statement. I was really excited to get my stuff down. I'm gonna get my interest in there. Everyone's gonna know who I am. And then it took me about like 3 or 4 months to actually write it, and I was like, what am I doing? I felt like I really, really liked writing my personal statement, but it was kind of stressful at times because I was thinking this is pretty much very similar to like a lot of other people that will be like talking about the same thing. And psychology is a very popular degree. It's very, very popular. So you have to make sure it's like it's unique to yourself. Yeah. So it was like I have to make sure that my personal statement is like the best of the best.
I did it really fast. I think I was the first one to finish, right?
Yeah, because you got all of your offers. You got onto your like the assembly thingy-majiggy, and people were like, oh yeah, Miss Coyle. Like, oh, we already have one of our students, and she's already gotten like most of her offers back. And I was there like, I haven't said I had like none, and then I was like envious of MJ because she had like all 5.
No, it was because as soon as the applications opened for us to send in, I was like, no, I have to do it today. If not, I'm never gonna get. I don't know. I was such in a rush.
Yeah,
I was so excited to go university, so it wasn't no stress for me. UCAS was simple and good to use.
I just wanted to pull it up. I was like, my goal is to become an animator or even an artist that can accomplish something like this. That's how I ended my personal statement. I was so.
I remember when I say finish, I mean like I'd finished writing it. I wasn't gonna add any more in like June, and then editing. I think I edited it so many times. I got friends to read it. I remember I got Rezi to read it. She really would criticize, pick every bit. I would get Cassandra to read it because she's all English, and she helped.
So articulate.
Yes. Like I would just get them to, and like anyone else that was in study really, and then they were like, oh, you need to get a teacher to read it. I remember she was like, oh, you have to print it out on a hard copy, and we went through it, and like she really picked it apart, and I like that, and it helped with me. And but then she was talking about oh, you should add EPQ, and I remember I had added it before. But then Miss Churcher, who was like a woman who helped us with personal statements, told me to like edit it out because of too many words. But I was like, I don't want to add EPQ, and like I loved my personal statement. It was the best. I was messy, like you as usual, because I want to go to, but I don't know what I want to study. But I need to actually write what you need to study. So it was just like. It was just like stacking. And because basically I was like in the scholarship program for the school, and they're like, oh, if you want to apply to Cambridge and Oxford, you have to do it now. You've got to do it now. And I kept getting emails like, oh, you need to send it off, and I was like, I don't want to go. Luckily, I had support from the school, and also Mr. Reynolds. He actually
let's sort the fact out that you don't know what you want to study. And I was like, yes. He helped me sort myself out, find out my true passion, and then he just, you know, made sure for me not to do the most basic stuff. And I made sure to go online and look at those personal statement ones. You know, those examples. I think. But some of them were a bit bad. Yeah, a bit. No, but some people got accepted into like really good unis, right? But they're like, I was in a car crash.
Yeah, that girl, I read it.
And ever since then, like, I wanted to, like, no one helped me, and I wanted to understand the human mind, and I was like, boo, what?
What does that have to do with it?
Yeah. I don't remember, like, but like she got accepted into like she shouldn't out the university like that, but it was a good uni. And there was like other ones where like their parents had like cancer, cancer, and that she might have it too. And I was like, okay, damn, we're all talking about experiences and stuff.
I didn't get any of that. I looked at obviously art.
Just depends what you're applying to as well. Yeah. Like for psychology, so definitely about the mind. So I remember I talked about
what did you talk about?
Oh, conformity, I think. I talked about conformity. Because psychology is such a diverse subject, I really wanted to show some of my knowledge within my personal statement. So I made sure to look at a couple of case studies. I think I mentioned Ian Brady and Laura Hindley, the Moors murders, and I talked about it.
Yeah.
I also talked about this Japanese guy. And I had to like research into his like childhood, and I linked this to pathology and stuff like that. So I made sure to basically show that I had the knowledge and I was like able to make comparisons. And because I didn't do anything like NCS or like extracurricular activities, I was very boring, so I was really scared. So I had to make my personal statement really like school orientated. So I had to talk about like I was like a language ambassador, a Lara trait ambassador, and I actually also talked about MSE, so that really helped as well. Yeah, like I was like, I'm talking about like current issues and like helping you know, people and stuff, and I incorporated that all in. And I also had to make like a decision in that. I remember like looking at the personal statements themselves, some of them like incurred sort of like almost pity at times. You know, they would like play their cards, and I was like, I could play the card of being an immigrant, but I didn't want to do that personally. I wanted to get there by my own merit and not, you know, I didn't want them to be like, oh, you know, because she's unrepresented, she should get accepted. Like, I want to get accepted for my own ability and for the quality of my own writing.
Okay, we're going to close this conversation. Thank you for entertaining us by watching this whole discussion, and I hope it's useful.
Hi, I'm Olivia Greenhalgh and I'm going to be part of MSE's amazing GCSE Results season coverage. Watch me exclusively live on MSE's YouTube and Instagram. As we all wait for results. MSE will be streaming live every day, including Thursday, as we finally open those envelopes. So join me and hundreds of other GCSE students on MSE. We're with you all the way.
So exams have finished. Woo.
GCSE exams are over, finally.
An emotional roller coaster.
Looking back at the exam season, it's actually been pretty good. Like, of course, it's had its ups and downs. Papers I found easy, papers I found hard.
We have finally finished GCSEs.
I really didn't think the exam season was going to be how it was.
I don't think I've done very well. Amazing, like no grade 9s.
And I just want to find out now so that I can actually start revising for the resit.
I think all the revision and all the hard work really did pay off.
Right at the beginning of the year, I told myself I was going to work super hard, and it worked for about a week.
I'm trying not to dwell on exams too much because the more I think about them, the more I think I've failed every single one.
It feels weird not revising. I have a lot of free time, I don't know how to spend it, but that's why Netflix and YouTube are a thing.
I've just been sleeping and watching Netflix.
Watching TV and shopping, ready for my holiday to Spain.
Started some new series, I literally finished one in half a day.
I've been spending time with my niece because she's over, with my sister.
Spending time with my family.
I've been for a lot of I've been for brunch literally every single day.
Trying to learn some new hobbies.
Don't even get me started about results day.
I'm going to be completely honest, I haven't been thinking about it that much as I thought I would be.
Here at NCS in my little prison cell looking dorm room.
It's honestly getting unhealthy.
The anxiety of it is really starting to kick in.
So I'm thinking, if nobody ever goes to pick up my results, did they ever really happen?
I've just been enjoying the summer and like session all the time.
I am so scared. I know I've not passed like a lot.
Honestly, like, what is the point of stressing over it and getting worked up over it, because I can't change it. I can't go into the exam hall and do it all over again.
I'm excited for it because I'm like, yeah, I want to see how I did, but then I'm worried because what if I have to resit? I don't want to resit.
I've been trying to avoid thinking about results day. I must admit, this long wait is kind of annoying. I just want to know how well I've done.
I've been having bad dreams recently about opening results and not getting the results I want.
So good, I haven't really thought about results day, like I don't want to think about it.
I won't be annoyed, but I'll just be really upset because obviously it happened so long ago.
But I've kind of forgot how most of the exams went. Like, people ask me, I'm like, I can't even remember.
I'm gonna keep not thinking about it. There's nothing good that can come from it. Like, I've done what I can.
We're back, and I think you know what time it is.
It is games time.
Yep. We're going to give you just a minute or two to get yourself ready.
Yeah.
Tell your friends this is happening.
Get them all over here.
Yeah, prepare yourself. Do some like finger
Stretches.
press ups. Like you need
getting you ready for the typing.
Make sure your Wi-Fi connection is at its strongest because obviously you want to be the first.
If you sat in your room and your Wi-Fi is not great, move next to that router.
Yeah, get
Wi-Fi.
straight next to it. You need to be as quick as you can. Maybe shall we just explain a little bit before we get into it?
You know what game it is.
So we have riddles. So there will be a practice question. Yeah, guys, please do tell your friends. The competition doesn't matter if you know you can be the best, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it'll be riddles. You'll have a practice question, so you will see what it's going to be like. We won't give too much away just now.
No. And what you have to do to enter is, if you're the winner, at the end you'll have to go over and find us on Instagram and DM us to let us know who you are. But to enter, all you have to do is be on here and be watching so you know what the questions are, and comment what you think the answer is. So we're going to read out a riddle. You have to comment what you think the answer is, and the top or the quickest two people to get their answers in will be written down on our paper, and that number will correspond to a number that we've got on our wheel. And if you win, like if the wheel spins and lands on your number, then you're the winner for the prize tonight.
In fact, as it's game time, shall I get the wheel? Put it behind us, just so you
Let's
can
get it, just so we can sort of see it and see your aspirations in front of you.
Right. Okay, here we go.
Someone said there, Emily, switching to her laptop. Make sure you have got optimum sort of devices ready so you can play the games.
That looks, I was going to say that looks nice and central, and then I moved it out. Okay.
There you go. Can see the wonderful colourful wheel, just so you know sort of what you're aiming for.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll put your name next to a number, and then we'll tell you guys which number you are just before we do it. So. I think we may be ready for the first.
Hopefully you've told all your friends.
Here we go. Practice
this
question.
Is the practice round.
Treat it like the real one though. It's like a mock.
Yeah. Get your comments in. What gets wetter the more it dries? Well, there are a lot of answers flooding in tonight.
Yes, I can't.
So many answers. I feel like their little finger press ups of what come in handy.
Gotta like stretch out, you know.
Yeah.
Here we go. To be honest, some valid answers here that aren't actually the answer, but yeah.
Everyone's sort of in agreement tonight. On the past couple of nights, we've kind of had a few people that are not sort of agreeing with everyone, but this is quite almost like a unanimous. This is the answer.
Okay, so as that was the practice, we're just going to cut it off there. By the looks of it, do you agree with me? Of the first two people?
Yeah, I would have to agree there.
So we did have Emily and Michael, Emily Bridge and Michael. You were the first two. So if that was the real game, we would put your names down by the number, would let you know which number we'd put you down by, and then you would get a chance to win a prize.
So, of course, the answer to that one was towel. towels get wetter the more they dry. So yeah, shall we go on to the first real riddle?
I reckon so. Let's see.
Are you all ready?
What has a head and a tail but no body?
Get those comments in, and remember, it is the first 2 people to get the correct answer that will have their names written down and chance for winning. Oh, some quick answers in here.
Yeah, it's funny because we get a surge of like all the answers come at once, and
there are some very quick typists this evening.
Yeah, literally, there's
It's
seconds
so
in it, and whether it's down to Wi-Fi connection or whether it's down to just you being really quick at hitting the message button, but
it's impressive,
very impressive. Right,
still a few answers coming in.
And again, a few interesting answers which could be valid, but there is obviously just one answer. Okay.
I feel like we've got to the answer.
So, as you may have seen from the comments, the answer was in fact coin.
Yeah.
Well done. Who was it? Let's have a look.
Michael.
Yeah, well done to Michael. Again, you did also win the practice. So we're putting your name down here. You will be...
So the practice paid off for you, Michael. You are number 1.
And we also have Kazi_OG. You are second. So well done. You guys are in with a chance now.
In with a chance of winning that wonderful prize on the Wheel of Joy.
And don't forget, the more times you have your name next to a number, the more chances you have at winning. So
yeah.
Here we go.
If you didn't win that time,
no,
we have 6 more chances, so there is plenty of opportunity for you there.
Plenty. So let's get on with the second riddle.
Take off my skin, I won't cry, but you will. What am I?
I thought that was going to be really like morbid, but okay. Get your answers in as quick as you can. And don't forget, if you don't think you have been the first person, get your answer in anyway, because maybe they're wrong and you're right. So
exactly. Keep those answers coming in, because there are a lot of different answers in here, so they may not even be right. A few people are saying that their screens have been freezing. You need to get a little bit closer to that Wi-Fi just to get the optimum level there. There's a lot of people playing tonight.
There is.
We've still got more coming in. I feel like almost everyone has answered now.
Okay, let's scroll. Let's see who the
first people were.
Oh.
So.
Okay, yeah.
The answer was in fact an onion.
Onion.
Yes. And the first person to get onion was Alyssa. Alyssa, I think that's how you say it.
Alyssa. Well,
so you are number 3 on the list.
That is you.
And the second person to get it right was Kazi OG yet again.
Wow, so you already have 2 chances now.
Yeah. Seems like you are someone to compete with tonight, so maybe people can try and beat you in the next round.
Okay. Right. You may have seen the comment. Make sure, maybe if you've gone off of the live and come back onto it, make sure you have scrolled right to the end of the bar, because maybe you could be watching like 5 seconds behind and you don't want to be at a disadvantage.
No, that's not going to help with the game.
Make sure you're all caught up live, and if it is lagging, well, I think you might need to check your Wi-Fi or something.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Maybe go to your neighbour. Yeah, they may have better Wi-Fi. You can borrow.
This is an important time right now. You need to use it. So, next riddle then. Here we go. What occurs once in every minute, twice in every moment, yet never in 1,000 years?
Get those answers coming in.
Get them in.
And if you were close last time, just try and type slightly quicker this time, and you may get it. We have been joined by a moth. That's what we were looking at in the ceiling.
I honestly just feel really bad for it right now.
Yeah,
so
it's kind of flying around all the little lights. I don't think it quite remembers where it got into, how to get out, but it'll find its way out eventually, don't worry.
Okay.
As long as it doesn't fly onto me, then it'll be fine.
It's just a pretty decent sized moth, not gonna lie.
I
can hear it.
Its wings are probably like that long when they're fully spread out.
Properly bashing the ceiling, right? Okay. Right, okay.
Let's see its brain cells there.
Lots of answers. Let's have a look at who's first.
So many answers.
Ooh. Right, okay. And don't forget, it does have to be the correct answer, guys.
Yes.
So
what was the correct answer there, Jade?
The correct answer there was the letter M, and we will give it to you if you just put the letter M, obviously.
Yeah.
So in that case, I think the first person to get it right was Shark Mo.
Well done, Shark Mo.
Well done. You are number 5, I think. And then the next person would be Emily Bridge. Well done, Emily.
Well done to you. Looks like moving on to the laptop was a good idea.
Yeah, definitely. So you guys are in with a chance as well.
Yep.
Yeah, let's just get straight into it. Next riddle. Here we go.
What goes up so never comes down.
Yeah. So many answers for this one, actually. Like that would get me.
Yeah.
There's so many things you could say for that.
Well, we've got a lot of different answers coming in today. So many different answers.
Keep getting your answers in.
in.
Even if you've seen people saying it, or like if you have a different one to what people are saying, like put it down.
Put it in. You may be in with a chance.
Oh, that's so true, though.
Yeah. There are so many good ones. Don't remove your comment, because you may have got the right answer and been one of the first people.
Yeah, leave it there. If you think you're wrong,
commit to it. Get it out there.
Don't be afraid to stray from what the pack are saying, because you could be the one smart person who is getting it right.
It may pay off.
Okay. So many. Wow. What does Alana put?
MSE sub count was her answer.
Well, let's
Is that the correct one? We'll find out very soon.
Let's hope.
We'll just let... We're sorry to hear that you've unsubscribed, Jezif, but you won't get notified when we post a video or when we're live if you do that. So I'd recommend you subscribe again, because we have got so much content coming up. There is live streams tomorrow night until 2 AM, on Thursday morning before results, and all next week as well during GCSE results, as well as the normal videos that we post.
Exactly.
And you don't want to miss out on those.
If any of you guys haven't hit the notification button or haven't subscribed, then I suggest you do in time for tomorrow, because as I said, we have so many games, and if you're enjoying this game right now, if you want to times this by 6, that is what's happening.
Just subscribe and you'll be notified.
Okay, so let's get on with it.
So the answer to that riddle was what goes up and never comes down. It was in fact age. We did have a lot of clever answers there though, which was very nice to see.
As I said, valid answers that honestly could be the right answer, but that's the one we were looking for. Who was first?
The quickest person was IQRADIY.
Well done.
Well done to you. And who was second?
Second was Tilani T.
So well done to you.
Very well done. We have 3 more questions.
Yeah.
So guys,
and there doesn't seem to be anyone that's sort of overruling the winning tonight. So make sure you sort of the competitiveness I feel is quite good level today.
Okay, right, here we go. Next one. What belongs to you, but others use it more than you do? Yeah,
it's a difficult one. There are a lot of answers coming in right now. Oh, this is crazy. So many answers.
You're so clever as well.
I know. I felt like if I was playing at home, I would not be getting many of them.
I'd be sat there like, oh my god. It's the pressure of needing to be quick. I'd be like,
and I always make typos, so you probably wouldn't even understand what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I know. Right, okay. And I do just want to say, actually, if your comment comes up in like a different order on your phone or laptop or anything, it might be different to what it says on here.
Yeah.
So just in case you
we're
feel
like cross-referencing on two here. So.
Yeah, so if you feel like yours has come in quicker than someone else's but we're not mentioning you, it may just be because obviously your phone has put that up before other ones that actually did come in before. Just to put that out there because I don't want anyone getting upset over over this kind of stuff. So we will tell you the answer now. The answer was your name.
Yeah.
And let's go for who was first.
First person to get that one correct was Jenna Misty. So well done, Jenna.
Well done. And actually, we have a recurring person here.
Ooh, who was
IQRADIY. You got name as well. So you're on there a second time. Here we go. And we have 2 more riddles to go.
Still 2 more or 4 more. Well, 2 more chances for you to get your name on the list to potentially be winning on the wheel.
Right.
So
here we go. What begins with T, ends with T, and has T in it? Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting one. James Charles drama. I like that.
It's a good answer there. It is a tough one.
That's a really tough one. I didn't know until I looked at the answer.
I feel like that may be one of the most difficult ones we've had tonight. So if you've got this one right, then congrats to you.
Yeah, we'll let you get your answers in.
Get those final answers in.
Right.
I feel like most people have answered now.
Here we go.
So we can reveal the answer was a teapot.
Yeah. Don't get too misled with the whole tea situation. You kind of have to just say it. Say it out loud. So
the quickest one.
Quickest was Kazi OG again. So
She's doing very well tonight.
Yeah, 3rd time there. So you
third time lucky. Will that be your 3rd time lucky with getting a chance on there? Because even if you've won or sort of won 3 rounds, you still may not even be the person.
Well, yeah, it's like the lottery.
Exactly.
Right.
Who was second?
Was Alex, I believe.
Pullen.
Alex Pullen.
Making a comeback from yesterday evening, we see
I was
there.
going to say.
There we go. Will you be the one that gets landed on tonight on the wheel, though?
Who knows? Right. Final riddle. Right. Okay. Here we go, guys. Final riddle. Here it is.
Final chance to get your name potentially on the wheel. Yeah. Emily's surprised that Merlin's not on the wheel yet tonight. I'm also surprised. He did very well on Sunday and Monday.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of been
maybe Merlin's taking a night off, just sort of preparing for tomorrow, because we have got 6 games tomorrow, which is going to be amazing.
Oh, okay. Mixed answers again.
I feel like you were all sort of split either one way or another.
Yeah, which is exactly why we do encourage you to get in your answers.
Keep those comments in.
No matter what it is, because it could
maybe
be
following the pack is not always the best way to go.
Okay.
Right, I feel like we've had all the answers in now.
Pretty much. Okay, so that was the last riddle, and the answer to that one was silence.
So the first person to guess silence was Merlin.
Oh.
So Merlin, obviously
well
you heard us, and you got back on your game. So Merlin is number 13 for the evening.
Loads of people.
So many.
Okay, so
second would be.
We're just trying to work it out. I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then second, I think we have to give it to you, Mick Potter.
Yes, Mick.
I think maybe your fingers slipped, but
Slipped
the word
at the beginning there.
you did put silence.
Yeah.
And I think it would be wrong not to give it to you because that's obviously what you were typing. So we'll give you benefit of the doubt. So I'd feel wrong not giving it to you.
Yes.
So well done.
That is
Mick.
all of our winners for this evening. We will read you all out just so if you forgot that you were one of them, you remember the chance of being the winner on the wheel.
Yeah.
So first off, number 1 we have Michael. Number 2 is Kazi OG. 3 is Alyssa. Hope I'm saying that right. 4 is Kazi again, in with a second chance tonight. Number 5 is Shark Mo. 6 is Emily Bridge. 7 is IQRA DIY. 8 is Talani T. 9 is Jenna Misty. 10 IQRA DIY is back in there. 11 is Kazi OG with a third chance for the evening. So will that pay off? Will they get the winning one? 12 is Alex Pullen. 13 is Merlin. And 14 is Mick.
Yeah.
Who's going to win it? Who will it be?
Who knows? Okay,
Whose luck is on their side tonight?
Yeah, well done everyone. Thank you everyone for participating in that as well. That was really good. We had so many answers.
So many.
I think it may be time
to spin the wheel.
Before we do spin the wheel, just want to say, make sure you subscribe if you want more of this tomorrow and of course in the future as well. We have so much content coming up. It would be a shame to miss it.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's get on with
spinning
the wheel. Just want to make sure you guys can see it nicely.
Can you all see?
Yep. Right, let's go.
Oh, that was not a very good spin.
12.
Number 12, and number 12 was Alex Pullen. So well done to you, Alex. All you have to do now is head over to Instagram. Our @ is MyStudentEvents, and send us a DM to let us know who you are, and we will get you your prize.
Yeah, well done, and well done to everyone as well who didn't win this time round. And as I've said so many times now, and literally 2 minutes ago, you will have a lot more chances tomorrow. So tune in.
And we have a variety of games tomorrow, so there's definitely something for everyone.
We do. Logo, sports, landmarks, dingbats. But anyway, that will be what's happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you again, guys, for tuning in and being so amazing in the comments once again. We hope that Alex speaking to us online was very useful to you. And we will have more chats, I think, with Year 13s as we get closer by the hour to
I feel like
results.
we can sort of see the nerves sort of getting a little bit more intense as the week is going on. So
and it's going to be a long one. We'll be going from 8 until 2 a.m. So make sure you tune in for that. And for those of you who are staying up for your results, hopefully we can help you. And by 2 a.m. comes around, I'm sure you'll be tired enough to get some sleep.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Glad I'm back.
Yeah.
And we will see you very soon.
Bye.